Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the law of attraction, manifesting success stories show comes in. If you are ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this episode. I am your host, Cassie Parks, and I am back with Alisa for her fourth interview in her Years of Growth series. Welcome, Alisa.
Hi, Cassie.
I am super excited to talk to you today. First, what's awesome?
I just feel really abundant. I don't know. It's not like any one thing. I'm just really happy with life right now.
Yay! That's amazing. I love hearing that. That's one of my favorite things. Like, I love celebrating money, and we're going to do that in a second. And it's that feeling that I love most of all when I hear it from my clients. So I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I'm feeling so blessed right now. It's great.
Yay! I love it. All right. Well, let's talk about money. What manifested total are we celebrating today?
I did my math right before this, and it looks like it's, make sure I get my digits correct here.
I love it.
It's $19,939.73.
Yay! That's amazing.
It's surprising.
That was my next question was going to be, I love you because you went all in. And so, up front, right? Like right away, it was like, yeah, I'm all in. There was no like, let me see. It was like, I'm all in. And so did you know, because did you know you'd get to this moment, or was it still a little like, I believe I can change, but I don't know if I'll have that total?
I've gotten to it faster than I thought I would.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Still surreal. I think I said that the last time, and I'm not sure when it will feel normal to me.
Yeah.
But it still feels a little surreal.
I love that. It's part of growing. Amazing. All right. Well, what has been your biggest aha or growth since our last interview?
That's a good question. I think things for me, I feel like I've had two phases in this process since I started in March.
Yes.
Where the first phase, I was really on top of my assignments, and the money was coming in, hot and heavy, and, doubling every month. And then there was this turning point where the things that I was manifested shifted completely away from money. Mm-hmm. And so my total, as large as it is honestly not what I would have expected based off of the first half of this year.
Yeah.
I honestly probably would have expected more money, but the other things that I have manifested that aren't money are so much bigger.
Yes.
So much bigger. And it's been a really interesting experience. It's an interesting ride. I would definitely call it a ride.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it today, and one of the things I love so much about the law of attraction that it makes sense to me is how much it is in line with my own personal religious beliefs.
It's awesome.
That we are, divine beings made in the image of a creator, and that we're here to learn and grow and become more like our divine selves that we were created to be. And part of that is learning how to also be creators. And, I feel like that's been something I was reflecting on today, is how much that has happened in my life even before I've joined the program. Mm-hmm. I remember not long after my divorce, a couple years after my divorce, when my daughter was little, having a really rough time. And I got this manifestation miracle that happened for, getting a job, hired off the street type situation. And I was so grateful and so in awe. And I remember praying what I call now a stupid prayer. The kind that seemed like a good idea in the moment, but afterwards you're like, oh, why did I do that? And it was the prayer that, Heavenly Father would help me to come to a place of being able to always know that no matter what happens, I will be taken care of and everything will work out. And naturally, in the moment, I'm thinking, oh, that just means that things are going to work out. Life is going to be good now. No. No. It was the movie, not Bruce Almighty, but the one that followed up after it, Evan Almighty, where Evan prays a stupid prayer and God comes to him in the form of Morgan Freeman, which is just so beautiful. I love it.
Yes.
And it says, the answer to your prayer was the opportunity to have those learning experiences. Is where the answer to prayer doesn't look like what you think it's going to look like. And that's very much what life has been about, is having these experiences that challenges me to be in that place of trusting, to be in that place of belief and optimism, and just knowing that there's always good things coming. And there's always more coming. And so that's kind of a long answer as to something I was thinking about today. But at a more immediate level, I think one of the biggest things that was kind of an aha for me recently was the importance of just prioritizing myself. I'd really been running myself ragged over my corporate job. And, we had talked about how I want to transition into something that better serves me and my family, and that how important it is to start making those small choices to really prioritize the things that are truly important to us. If that's exercise, taking time to meditate or pray, or just sit and breathe for a moment. And since the new year, I've really been working on setting those stronger boundaries for myself. And I am noticing a difference in how I feel. Definitely less stressed. And really, really just becoming more and more aware of how important it is to me to take care of myself.
Yeah. Amazing. So I want to, I don't know if there's a difference, but if there is, I want to hear you talk about this. So Is there a difference between prioritizing yourself and choosing self-care and choosing yourself, or do you see those as the same?
I kind of see them as the same.
Okay.
I would use those terms interchangeably.
Awesome. Perfect. I love it. Because choosing self-care and prioritizing that is so simple. And so what advice would you give someone, because this is where you were a month or two ago, we had a conversation about this, but when it's like, it was right before Christmas. So it was about a month ago. When it feels like there is no time, I literally can't choose myself. What advice would you give someone in that moment?
There's probably something you should be cutting out. For me, it was TikTok. That is a black hole. And I realized how much time I was spending just spacing out on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not what I want to be doing with my time.
I love that, because that is the truth. There is probably something you should be cutting out, right? And there's a lot of reasons that pop up in people's heads. Why not? But if you can pick up your phone, even, I have a second, you can also sit and just breathe. Yes. You could get up and move a little bit. You could, right? There's all these things that we can be choosing, even when it doesn't look like it.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. What is the difference? Because you said it all starts with small choices, like 10 minutes. What did choosing 10 minutes for you? How did that shift and change, and how are you experiencing that?
For me, it ended up being not so much as choosing 10 minutes, but setting stronger boundaries around my time.
Yeah.
Like with my corporate job, I was working a lot of hours off the books
Mm-hmm.
and getting to a point where I'm just saying no to that,
Yeah.
and giving myself permission to not feel guilty about it.
Yes.
Which is still a struggle, because there's a culture there of everybody working more than what they're actually on the books for. And so you feel like you're not pulling your own weight to a degree.
Right.
But that's a narrative that I don't want to buy into anymore.
Yeah.
I want to get paid, compensated fairly, and I don't want to sacrifice my family or my health
Right.
doing more because corporate culture says I should.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
that's
love
been
that.
the thing that's made the biggest difference for me, is just setting stronger boundaries around when I'm done working, I'm done.
Yes. That's awesome. What have you felt? Is that just open up a more peace? Like, have you seen it just give you more breathing room? What's changed as you set those boundaries?
Oh, definitely more breathing room, less pressure. Because along with that, I've also had to let go of my own expectations of what I get done in a day. And so
Yes.
I actually am feeling better about what I get done, because I'm no longer feeling like I'm not completing enough.
Yes.
So I've had to really scale back on my own expectations and what I communicate to my employers that I can do. And then along with that also comes with being more selective about how I spend my time.
Yeah.
So that's been big, because I definitely feel like my evenings are more free. I'm able to do the things that I enjoy, like read to my daughter, work on my needlepoint, read a book. That was also another reason why I cut out TikTok, was because I was like, I could be reading a book right now. I used to love reading books back before, social media and smartphones. And I remember, in high school, just devouring books before we had all of this technology. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's like, that was really a better life.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is, right? Is realizing it's always a choice. It's like, it's a choice, do you, even if you pick up a book on your phone, right? And it is technology, or you carry that physical book where we used to carry so often. I feel like, if you were going to wait in line somewhere, or, you'd have a book with you somewhere to do different things, So do you want to share, I know you have it's happening right now. Do you want to share that?
Yes. Okay. This is another reason why I'm glad I postponed our interview.
Yes.
About a month. Because this is something that is falling into place like right now. And I wanted to get your honest reaction to it.
Yay! That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have goosebumps.
I'm so excited. I'm so scared. And I'm so excited. It's been, like, when I said it's been a wild ride, I was not even joking. I went from being like a chronically single mother, who struggled with manifesting, to now, since March, or even really just in the last 6 months, like manifesting almost $20,000 and having the love of my life come into my life and marrying the love of my life. And now we're having a child. I'm just like, it's just snowballing right now. And it's wild, and exciting, and kind of hard to keep up with.
Oh, it's so amazing. Oh, it's awesome.
It's crazy. That's one that has nothing to do.
Okay. Ooh, hold on.
And this is one of those manifestations that has had absolutely nothing to do with money, but is so huge. My oldest right now is going on 12 years old. So I had actually completely given up on being able to have any more children. I think it was just
Yes.
last summer that I was clearing out old baby stuff and giving things away, and had like truly just released that as even an option in my life.
Hmm.
And here we go, round two.
Yes.
You know, full decade later, and it's very exciting. It feels kind of like it's the first time.
Oh, yay. I think that is beautiful and
I feel like a
amazing.
complete newbie.
Yay. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, in some ways, you really are because this is a totally different experience. You're with the love of your life. You have an older child in the house. Like it's really gonna, you know, just bring home that family feeling, I'm sure.
Totally different experience. And plus, we're also looking at buying a home right now. So I'll be able to set up a nursery, which will be a whole new experience that I didn't have the first time around. It's a completely different experience.
Ah, that's amazing. What feels best about it, or what's the best part, obviously, other than there's going to be a baby?
Honestly, the best part is my husband. He's so wonderful. And just knowing that I have this partner in my life who is going to work so hard to take care of us and support us and is excited about this and wants this as much as I do. Just feels like the biggest blessing. Oh, and also speaking of which, there's now a light at the end of the tunnel for me exiting my corporate situation.
Yay!
Clock is ticking.
Amazing.
I don't know what it's going to look like yet.
Yes.
But there's now a timeline attached to it because I'm not going to work 40 hours a week with a 3-month-old strapped to my chest.
Right? Oh, yay.
So that's really exciting. I'm really, really excited for that and being able to transition into caring for my family, transition into a work situation that allows me to bring in income that enhances our family's life rather than is a survival type
Yes.
situation. You know, using my income to decorate my home and pay for private schools and vacations and, you know, savings and those kinds of things. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about being able to use my income to enhance our lives.
Yay, me too. And for me, you know, I am so excited for you. And I think back to your 10K list, which was all about creating this. Like, never did you, I don't think, ever imagine it would come in this form because you were committed to doing it yourself, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self. I am supportive of it, which is huge. One of the things I made my original 10K list. This is before I was even talking to my husband again because I thought he was out of my life for good.
Right.
I was very much like, I've got to figure this out myself, do it myself, and somehow it will work out. But I think one of the things that I've learned about myself through this process, both through prior experiences with my old money story, but also my experience in the Enchanted Circle, is the importance of having that support and receiving help. And that's really where I do well is when I am working with other people to create things. And that's really where I'd rather be. So I'm working with my husband to create a new family and a new life and new opportunities for us. And it feels really, really good.
Yay. Oh, it's so awesome. I love it. And I'm so excited for you. Is there anything else in your heart or just that you want to share today as we wrap up?
I'm really excited to start diving back into my assignments again. It's been interesting because I feel like every time I start to really get into it again, something happens. Like, oh my gosh, I get into my assignments, I do one or two, and then I'm pregnant.
Yay.
So it's been kind of slow going in that sense, but I'm really, really excited, especially with this, 9 months that I've got going on right now, and these next transitions that are coming up. I'm really, really looking forward to really getting into those assignments because I enjoy doing them. They're challenging in a way that feels good. And I'm just really excited for how things are going to work out.
Yay, me too. Because the best part, which you are demonstrating so beautifully and letting us share, is that when you get clear about that life or what you want to create, there is literally, you cannot imagine how it's going to happen. And it's always better than you think.
Yeah.
And I love that. And so I'm excited for that too. Would you just share? I love what you said because I totally get this. They're challenging in a good way. Will you just explain what that means? Because I think sometimes people think LOA and I'm doing the work. It shouldn't be a challenge. It should be really easy because it's supposed to be easy. And so just explain that for anybody who's maybe not clear on that.
I think that is one of the misnomers that gets bandied about in, Instagram law of attraction, where everything's Insta. And it's all about feeling good and, you know, instant. It's all instant. When really law of attraction, like I was saying earlier, it's about learning to embody more of our divine nature and become become creators made in the image of a creator. And part of that process is learning to not allow our mammalian animal nature to run the show, but instead allow our higher divine nature to run the show. And that's something that doesn't necessarily come intuitively. For some people it does, but for most of us, it's something that we have to learn. It's a skill because so much of it is a mindset. I mean, none of us got where we are accidentally. We're all products of our upbringing and our environment and our culture and mindsets, and we're all creating all the time and directly related to those things. So it's about our eternal progression as divine beings, which takes work. And if it's not something that we have to work at, I almost go, well, what's the point? Because you don't ever really know something unless you have to learn it. And you can embody it more when you go through this growth process and take it, one little piece at a time, the way a child would explore the world and learn about the world around them. So
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily that it's hard or easy, because that's not the point. The point is about our eternal progression as creators. And that's just a process. It just is what it is. And I think what makes it hard or easy is our own attitude towards it, whether we're resistant to that process. Do we expect it to be easy and are therefore resistant to the learning process? Or do we accept the learning process and, dive in head first, and then as a result, it comes easy? So those are just
Yes.
kind of my off the cuff thoughts.
They are wonderful and definitely mirror some things I was writing in my head today about growth and that. And it's exactly what you said. It's that expectation that it's easy that keeps you from diving in. And it's that
You have to get your hands dirty.
you do. And that's the way you shift and grow, because otherwise you're just doing the same thing that you've always done, which is going to give you the same results and the same creations that you've always had.
I just got this mental picture in my head of a little child playing in the mud.
Yes.
You got to get your hands dirty, but you can enjoy the process at the same time.
Yes. You can have fun. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing the news with me and for letting our listeners get to have that live version. This is so much fun. Thank you for sharing this moment in your journey with us.
Thank you, Cassie.
You are
I'm excited
welcome.
for the next 4-ish plus years. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I can't even imagine. I thought everything that I'm experiencing now is what I thought I would be getting in like year 4 or 5.
Yes. Amazing. I love that. I'm so excited to see what happens in year 4 and 5 as well, because it's going to be magical and amazing. Awesome. Thank you, Alisa. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to come back and check out what else is awesome in Alisa's life next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Law of Attraction Manifesting Success Stories show. To learn how to attract more money into your life, go to your favorite book retailer and order Cassie's book, Manifest $10,000.